Hello, welcome to the Garden's Key. I am happy to share my journey of living under a false facade. Masking disconnects us from ourselves and has deceived many into believing they cannot rise again. Let us open with uplifting words from Jesus Christ, giving you a great identity. Matthew 5:14-16. Jesus said, "You are the light of the world. A city set on a hill cannot be hidden, nor do people light a lamp and put it under a basket, but on a stand, and it gives light to all in the house. In the same way, let your light shine before others, so that they may see your good works, and give glory to your Father who is in heaven." We light up the world differently to inspire, heal, motivate, support, care, comfort, and guide each other. Our day-to-day life influences how we breathe life into our lights and through each other. Our decisions about our lives can graciously continue to light up our lights or unbearably weaken them. This is my journey, a journey that drowned me down to valleys of adversities and lifted me up to triumph. I fell and got up countless times until I could stand still in the presence of God. Amid my storms, God rose me up to reach my light and led me to the narrow gate of my transformation. Each person is born unique, which makes them stand out from the rest. Identifying your distinctiveness can be a daunting journey. It is a journey where some are fortunate to be taught young how to identify and nurture their seed, while some will be going through adversities to identify who they truly are. How we see our journey of adversities can either strengthen us to build more faith or blind us to much darkness of agony. Adversity is hardening. It has compelled others to make good decisions, to rebuild their faith and become resilient. They don't let past failures, mistakes, or rejections hold them back. Regardless of all the odds against them, they strive until they succeed. Others also try to rebuild their faith, however, relieving their past, emotionally trapped to feel intimidated, insecure, discouraged, and unworthy. This negative outlook prevents them from seeing success ahead and makes them hesitant to try again. Then they hide under a mask and hopelessly choose to be either feeble and always looking for an easy way and quick to give up, conniving and ruthless by going behind people to steal what is not theirs, confused and hide their suffering by becoming excessively selfless or manipulative with intentions of being pitied. The lack of appreciating outcomes of my attempt to identify my distinctiveness and failure to accept the status of my life led me to conceal my feelings under a mask. Undesirably, I focused on my adversities and past mistakes, while masking was weakening my light. I was far from God. I did not know who God was, and became ashamed of opening my heart to God. I blindly allowed the rowdiest negative part of my upbringing, of numerous futile attempts, of my age and my level of education, to distort how I perceived things. Masking quietly was burying myself in darkness. The darkness of suffering in silence caged me to a deep, lonely, cold and narrow grave, while my mind was becoming a war zone of confusion. I was emotionally in the dark and battled to hear God, while unreasonably becoming excessively selfless, trying to be there for everyone as I struggled to save myself, and blindly normalize the abnormal behaviors. So, masking disconnects you from yourself and makes you live two worlds, what you want people to pay attention to and what you are suffering from. It is a darkness where some dive deep and struggle to come back and resort to killing their pain, mistakes, and failures through activities that draw them strongly to becoming addicted. I struggled to understand and appreciate what it meant for me to be created in God's likeness and image. Living under a mask controlled me to make poor judgments about my life. Inasmuch as I would try to live positively, I blindly allowed my mind to be a secret dwelling of my deprivations, insecurities, weaknesses, and fears. I was not confident, and I would usually procrastinate or self-sabotage my dreams. My insecurities crushed my inclination to commit to any goals. The downside of masking was that I quickly acted without thinking things through. In my reasoning, I slowly lost my identity. So masking imprisons one's mind with the intent to produce negative outlooks. You find yourself normalizing the abnormal behaviors, insensitively pushing others to accept you as you are. The results will give you the names, and you cannot hide your stunts of bitterness, grudge, dislike, envy, pride, anger, stubbornness, ego, etc. Masking shadowed my path to finding a harmonious way of overcoming my period of unfruitfulness. It is that deep-rooted negative growing web, cutting through people's hearts, spreading and infecting other parts of our lives. It infused undesirable attitudes that were hurting the people I love. Stubbornness became my tendency to take control of things. It broke me apart inside, but I had pride and would not admit that I was drowning. Despite that, God will never give up on us, and He never gave up on me. God always gives us opportunities to correct our wrongs and remove us from immoral behaviors that hurt others. I masked because I failed spiritually on how I can emotionally relate to my period of want. Due to that, I struggled to accept my season of lack. Impulsively keeping my past alive led me to a poor understanding of how I can set my goals. Impatiently allowed conformity to societal standards drove me to be disconcerted, thinking that I was running out of time, and never gave myself a chance to flourish. Though I understood the Proverbs of Solomon, Proverbs 16 verse 1, saying, "The plans of the heart belong to man. The answer of the tongue is from the Lord," I still became critical because I was angry and blindly thought I was not enough. Outwardly, masking hardened me from asking, though my heart's desires troubled my mind. I suffered by allowing my past to stand in my way and became discerning of God's willingness to bless me. I gradually continued neglecting my light under the mask. In a negative perception of how I saw God, my dreams of living my true self and strengthening my light seemed unachievable because I continued reliving my past disappointments. That triggered doubts and manifested negativity that brought gushing storms that shattered my heart, and I found myself stifling under my mask. The pressure we impose on ourselves unnecessarily and our negative perception about God corrupt our thinking. Although God knows our desires, He wants to hear our hearts truthfully. I decided to change my mind and surrendered everything to God. God wants us to be confident and courageous to trust Him with all our lives. Surrendering my life gave me the strength to plan my future and vision my goal of bringing to life my uniqueness. God showed my undesirable behaviors that had locked out my opportunities. I willingly sought Him first, and He took a lead. The positive spirit strengthened me to plead for forgiveness from God first and be grateful, to admit my wrongs, to see the damages I'd done, and to be daily taught to rebuild myself. God is pleased when we directly respond to Him. Like Solomon said, "Give me now wisdom and knowledge." 2 Chronicles chapter 1 verse 10. God wants to show us how we can control and change our thinking, and to focus on how we can rebuild our damaged selves. May God bless us all. Have hope, because a light cannot be caged, no matter how emotionally weak we become. It breaks off the shells we hide behind and measures no deeds of the past. Follow the rays of the light. They are there to direct you to God. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to my channel for more inspiring content. Your support means the world to me.